Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS, and welcome to our review of Loop Hero, where we'll reveal everything you need to know before you play. If you're a fan of all things video games, make sure to check out our Discord server. And of course, you can always subscribe here for more reviews and features every single week. You're not gonna want to miss it. Devolver Digital have quietly carved out a reputation for publishing some of the most innovative indie games of recent times. I mean, the pixel art gorefest that was Carrion was my personal favourite game of last year, and Devolver are looking to start 2021 just as strong with Loop Hero. But defining what Loop Hero isn't that straightforward. Blending elements of roguelites, idle games, RPGs, and deck building, it promises to offer something refreshingly new, yet distinctly familiar. But we'll take a deeper look at the gameplay and whether it pays off in just a bit. As for the story, we're introduced to a world robbed of everything, right down to its memories, by a malevolent big baddie known as the Lich. It's up to you as the nameless protagonist to rekindle these lost memories, revive a darkened world, and ultimately save the day. But with an interesting premise and an unusual concoction of genres, does Loop Hero deliver? Watch on to find out. Naturally, the gameplay is the most important element, and this time it's largely very passive. You lay cards on a loop, each of which will have an impact on your journey and or the larger world. The effects of them, whether they be positive like a health boost or challenging like an enemy encounter. You won't actually be swinging a sword or casting a spell yourself, but you can easily swap between action and strategy thanks to the planning phase. This pauses time, allowing you to survey the situation, take stock of your loot, and determine your next move. This slower, more methodical take to gameplay won't be to everyone's taste, but offers a really cool take on the balance between risk and reward. But why would you pick to play a risky card? Well, seemingly more dangerous tiles like vampire mansions and spider cocoons grant a higher chance of finding useful loot, such as armor and weapons. These also allow you to boost your various stats, but only true edgelords put everything in vampirism. You can decide to cut a loop short at the cost of a chunk of your loot, but with much more coming back to camp with you than if you decide to push too far and die on your adventure. This is so useful in the early game where completing a loop is pretty much impossible. Once back at camp, which serves as your safe hub world, you can use the materials gathered on your travels to build new structures, which in turn boosts your stats for the next run. It all thematically makes sense, with a field kitchen offering a health buff and shelters boosting your base HP. The only thing is, it can become a real grind to get the rare materials needed to build out your camp, particularly in the early stages. I just wish there was a little bit more variety in terms of cards and loot in these preliminary loops, but I still found it hugely satisfying balancing out all the different mechanics. Each loop takes roughly 20 minutes to complete, and these bite-sized chunks can get highly addictive. As for the story, for a title with such a seemingly minimalist style, there's a surprising amount of depth. Much like the loop maps you explore, the narrative expands out organically, revealing a dark, macabre tale that's honestly up there with some of Devolver's best. All of the on-screen text and dialogue is beautifully written, and I loved sifting through the lore of each monster class to find out about as much of the world of Loop Hero as I could. But the real dopamine hit comes from the game's aesthetics. It's such a delight to look at, and in a market already saturated with pixel art titles, it manages to stand head and shoulders from the pack. What's more, the soundtrack is, if anything, even more impressive. The chiptune beats are comfortably up there with the likes of Castlevania and Zelda, and I can fully see myself humming these tracks as much as I do the classics. If there's not a vinyl pressing of this soundtrack at some point in the future, I'm gonna be severely disappointed. Loop Hero was ambitious to try and combine so many elements from so many genres into one package, but for the most part, it's an experiment that pays off. This isn't a game for those looking for a hack and slash romp, rather those looking for a more methodical, strategic adventure through an enchantingly haunted world. If you're into deck building games and are looking for a different take on the usual formula, then this is an experience tailor-made for you. But what did you think of Loop Hero and me slowly losing my voice? Let me know the answer to everything in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more reviews and features every single week. My name is Tom, I'm gonna go and grab a lozenge, and I'll see you next time.